telling me that you brought me cake donuts and a cronut, and I just went live. We're live, by the way.
Oh, are we live right now?
Yeah, you're like, hey, here's some donuts. Go live.
It's not live on
That's
my
mean,
computer.
guys. That is so mean.
Oh, here, let me mute.
Just went
I have not
live.
refreshed.
Yeah. Carrie, you're gonna have to turn your volume off, by
I
the
did.
way. Okay. Cool. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the weekly live chat. Complete with donuts that I can't eat.
All right.
So how fun for me. Yeah. If you hear a voice in the background, Aunt Boo is actually here with me today.
Hi, y'all.
She is enjoying what appears to be a really delicious donut that was freshly made just this morning. Is it as fresh and delicious as it looks?
It's as fresh as I am.
Oh, even more so than. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. So just kind of wanted to spend a few minutes doing an intro. Card Shop Reality first in chat as ever. Ryan, thank you so much for showing up. Red, hello. Good morning, Sharon. It's so nice to see you. So nice to see you. Hey, Horizon. Yawn. Oh, hey. Thank God it's Thursday, he says. That's right. That's right. Yeah, we have, hopefully you, like I'm quite sure Horizon does, have your coffee ready and you're ready to chat. We have coffee. We'll talk.
I'll give you a topic.
Mm-hmm. So spring has sprung, y'all. Spring has sprung. Just a little bit ago, I was over at the YouTube channel Cookie and the Haydens. And if you don't know, the Haydens are Chris and his wife, and I forget her name, and I'm sorry, but she's not on there every time. I think he is. But they're a really sweet couple from Great Britain, from the UK, and they have a really lit chat, and it's a lot of fun. They talk a lot about eBay too. So if you get a chance, check out Cookie and the Haydens. Cookie, by the way, is the dog. It's a really cute dog. It's an adorable dog. We also have. I am so jealous right now,
I'm sorry.
guys. You would not believe what this donut looks like sitting across from me.
I just started an OnlyFans of me like just eating donuts.
I would pay. I would join that OnlyFans. I would join my own sister's OnlyFans just to watch her eat donuts because I want those donuts.
Yeah.
Good morning. Well, not for that vicarious pleasure, but for other, yeah. Good morning, Angry Hangers. Good morning, Christina. Mwah. Good morning, Deb. How you doing this morning, baby girl? Hello. Oh, I see you got your coffee too. Smart girl. This chat has everything: coffee, donuts, card shop, and an Aunt Boo. You're darn skippy. I also, I don't know if you've noticed, but the first signs of spring are very, very noticeable to the females of the species. We went to when my kids were little, we went to the zoo one time and in the spring, which is normally we usually wait until summer to go, but we went to the zoo in the spring. St. Louis has a free zoo. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, my beautiful Ola. Mwah. I hope you're doing great this morning, Hal. Also call me. We need a girls' night. Anyway, so we went to the zoo in the spring. What I noticed before, of course, the guys in the group did, which are my sons and my husband. What I noticed was that the males, they weren't actually mating yet, but what they were doing was posing and being super extra aggressive. And good morning, Raquel. I was just talking about spring. They were being super extra aggressive and like posing and fighting each other, and there was a lot more activity. So if you get a chance to go to the zoo in the spring, you got to check this out. But spring has definitely sprung, and all of the males of the species are showing off their best plumage, and we will talk about that in just a second when we talk about my sales recap for the week, because there was an interesting development this week that I blame directly on spring. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's a spring thing for sure. So Raquel, hello, gorgeous. Hello. So I want to thank everybody for being here this morning. And let's go ahead. It's 10:05. Let's go ahead and hop into the sales recap for the weekend. Now, as I mentioned before, if you're new with us, I sell primarily on Poshmark, with some a much smaller percentage of my sales going from eBay and auctions and things like that. Excuse me, but oh, I did mean to give you an update too on my herb garden. I planted a kitchen herb garden. Yeah, blame spring, right? I'm telling you, you're all getting unusually aggressive. It's been like really, really strange. I do have though. I did name all of my herbs in my kitchen garden because why not? So I just wanted to let you know this is who's budding. I actually have sprouts for the following. I have Fernando cilantro, and Fernando is sprouting. He's got like teeny tiny little sprouts. I'm so proud of him. It's my husband's least favorite herb, so I'm like, go, daddy, go. Yeah, I'm a meanie, but to be fair, also Phyllis Diller, that's my dill plant. So Phyllis Diller, she's got like little sprouts that are like this tall. It was incredible. Lavender Jackson, actually, lavender is growing and has Lavender Jackson.
Or Lavender Holyfield.
Lavender Holyfield. Oh, that would have been even better. I'm going to change his last name. So he's got little bitty sprouts on him. I'm really proud of that because lavender, I understand you can cook with that and actually make like ice cream and cookies and things. So that should be interesting. And Rosemary Clooney, she's growing like a weed. So I'm really proud of Rosemary. Sadly, Elvis Parsley is still in hiding. So we're just waiting for the comeback on that. But my sales recap for this week. Here's an interesting thing. Now, it's not for this week. I just sold some things, in the past couple of days. Laundry ice cream. You know what? You typing across the table does not make it any less insulting. I swear to God. That's what I get for having an audience of one here.
You're right there.
I am right there. Elvis has not left the soil. He will not leave the soil. Thank you, Roy. I was looking for a joke for that and you found it. Thank you. So here's the interesting thing though. Over the weekend, I had 10 sales from Friday night until Sunday night, 10 sales, which is, it's a little less than what I usually do, but still, respectable. Of those 10 sales though, I had something unusual happen because, again, the majority of my sales happen on Poshmark. The unusual thing was that on Poshmark, I had 7 out of 10 of those sales were men's clothing, which almost never happens. Like 2 years of selling on Poshmark, not once. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And I blame it on spring. I think everybody's all of the men folk are checking on their plumage and making sure they look cute. So 7 out of 10 were men's clothing. I had 1 pair of shorts, 2 pairs of pants. One was a pants bundle, so it was technically 2 pairs of pants, but it was one order. 2 button-up shirts, and 1 belt buckle, and 1 t-shirt. All men's. So, put your men's clothing out there. Horizon, yeah, blame spring again. Well, I could blame just the men, but I thought spring was the way to go. Also, also I'm joking, of course. Also, I had the 8th sale of those 10 was actually a dog scarf from Bed Bath & Beyond. Weirdest thing. So of those 10 sales, only 2 were women's items. It was the strangest weekend ever. I loved it, and I was really happy to send those out. they were pretty straightforward sales, and I'm grateful for each and every one of them. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of weird because, with spring happening, all of the males of the species are, I feel like a guy from like the Nature Channel. All of the males of the species are pruning themselves. So yeah, and apparently the dog scarf as well. Um, we I also wanted to touch on in fashion news. Some odd things are happening in fashion news. Let me move this so I can put my coffee over here. Um, the Okay, we've all seen like the fashion pictures of Rihanna showing off her pregnancy, which is nothing new. Beyonce did it. Hey, Cameron, how you doing? Cameron McKay. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. If the payments are from women, maybe they're like, "Oh, dang, winter's over. Got to take the guy out." That's true. That's true. We do have to take them out in public, and we have to, we tend to clean them up and repurpose them before we actually drag them out into public places. Yes, yes, they have to be shaved, and all of that. Got to get the nose trimmers out. Yeah, I get that. So yeah, that could be what's happening. Actually, we're making them fit for mating. So we're making them mate worthy.
It is Thirsty Thursday.
It is Thirsty Thursday. But no, actually, the majority of the payments came from men. I was actually shipping to men. Very strange, very strange. But it was good to see. I thought that was good to see. So Rihanna, pregnancy style, what she's done is make high-end pregnancy more desirable, I guess. So taking things like, Chanel and Fendi and Burberry and, well, obviously her brand Fenty, taking all of those to sort of a next level of style. Sorry, I'm staring at a donut. Taking those to like a next level of style for pregnancies. There are, of course, higher end pregnancy outfits and things like that, but I think it's sort of like when you see plus sizes on the runway, it's sort of like that, where it's becoming, they even want haute couture to become a little more inclusive for things like that. So it's an interesting development. I'm curious to see where that goes, but Vogue did two separate articles about it, and I thought that was cool. Now Vogue also did this thing, and this is the weirdest. Guys, it's very curious. Vogue also did an article about denim outfits,
like denim on
denim crimes. So they're talking about it was part of their street. It was part of their street view, and what they do is they go out and they look at street fashion and what people are wearing in bigger cities and things like that. And what we're finding is that there are some serious denim on denim crimes happening. Yes, it's a Canadian tuxedo. That's what they call it. I call it the Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears moment. But it's kind of harkening back to the Y2K and the 90s. So it's interesting that these things happen in fashion, and you're wondering, as a reseller, what does that have to do with me if I don't do clothing? But even the resellers that don't do clothing do a lot of times they do clothing. They do tennis shoes, they do, jackets, they do things like that. So I think based on what I've seen in sales, based on everything that I'm seeing come down the runway, based on certain fashion shows that have made a comeback that should never have made a comeback or have made a bigger comeback than it absolutely should have. Good morning, Shay. How you doing, baby girl? Hi, it's good to see you. So based on those fashion shows and based on what we saw for the fall 2022, both from Milan and from New York Fashion Week. Denim is, everybody's saying preppy and gingham and pink and green, and that's all true. But denim is one of those things where it never truly goes out of style, but you're about to see an overwhelming, exhaustive dump of denim. And I'm glad I went on ThreadUp and I got those 30-pound denim boxes. So I'm really, really glad that those are happening, because I got 150-pound and 230-pounds. So I feel like I'm ready for the season, ready for that demand. And I'm hoping and praying to the denim gods, again, that they go quickly. I can tell you that on the 50-pound backs, I've already made my money back. I've already made my money back, and I'm into the profit zone. Actually, I've made enough to cover 1.5 of the 30-pound boxes. So it's almost all paid for with the very first 8 items from that 50-pound box. And that one I didn't unpack on camera because that was a lot to unpack. But we do have the video coming up. We're actually filming that today, so I'm excited because I finally get to see what's in that second 30-pound box. So we're actually filming that today, this morning. We're going to do the unboxing for the second 30-pound denim box from ThreadUp. And that video will come out as a premiere on Tuesday, April 19th. Sorry, I had to think about that. I know, I don't know. It's April. Tuesday, April the 19th at 6 p.m. Central Time. And let me put back on my glasses because I can't read. Just like our family, a lot to unpack. Yes, very much so. And unlike our family, it doesn't have a whole bunch of baggage. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that some other time.
Or resale value.
Or resale value.
It has more resale value.
Yeah, it has more resale value. I don't know. I mean, we can cook. There's got to be some value in that. Okay, so the 2000s Shields shades, from what I understand. Hey, good morning, Paul, the flippin' sports guy. So from what I understand, the big shades, the big huge sunglasses that were happening in the early 2000s, and think I don't know, what was that? The Simple Life? No. What was that one with the Nicole Richie and
Paris Hilton?
Paris Hilton?
Yeah, The Simple Life.
Was it The Simple Life?
Mhm.
Okay, you remember those days when they were wearing the huge sunglasses? Those things are actually starting to come back as well. Now, you're probably not going to see them on the street for about another 10 months. We're still in kind of the smaller sunglasses. And specifically, if you live in the Midwest, you're probably not going to see them on the street for another, year and a half. So don't rush out to get them. But you do want to kind of keep an eye on these trends, because if you see something out and you pick it up and they're like, oh, it's so out of style, the chances are good that the pendulum eventually is going to swing and it is going to come back. Because I would have sworn to God in 1994 that never, ever, ever again would anybody have skinny, straight legs. Stop me if you've heard this. Acid wash jeans, jeans with pockets all over them, mom jeans, high rise jeans with tucks on the front, all of that, jeans with pleats. I never thought I'd see those again. So, don't discount the fact if something is so out of style that you're like, ew, gross, grab it. I'm probably going to start grabbing cold shoulder stuff in about 5 years, because and I'm not talking about off the shoulder. I'm talking about cold shoulder, where it's got the strap and then it's got the other. And I hated that trend. I was so grateful that it's over, but everything comes back around, guys. Anything that's a trend will come back around. As a fashion is cyclical. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Met Gala is coming up, so we're going to see some good weirdness, and I can't wait to report on that one. That'll be fun. Hey, Kraken, how you doing? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Kraken,
Like
Kraken.
release the Kraken.
Like release the Kraken.
I would think they released.
She has been
but
released.
She can correct.
Well, that may actually be somebody's last name, so it may be Kraken or something like that.
Kraken.
It could be Kraken. But either way, good morning. Good morning, beautiful. We are so glad you're here. You did. That's awesome. So that is what's sort of going on in fashion news. That, you know, as a reseller, you just kind of want to keep your ear to the ground and just kind of keep track of what is trending and what is not, and what the runways are showing us, because ultimately things go from those runways and they go then to red carpets and special occasions and special events and haute couture closets, and then you see it as higher end streetwear, and then you see it as, you know, as mall wear, and eventually they're going to sell it at Target. So by the time it gets to Target, you know, we're probably the runways are always headed for another trend. So you want to kind of stay ahead of that if you can, or just, you know, keep it in mind as you're picking up stuff. Good morning, Lady Luck Jut. Good morning, baby. Hello. Hello, pretty lady. And the new rumor has it. Here's the rumor. Here's the rumor mill for the week. The biggest thing that we're seeing is the Etsy strike. That is still ongoing. It's supposed to be going until tomorrow, and until the end of business on Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm distracted by donuts. So that's an interesting thing. Again, I come from I have a union family, so I just won't, you know, I won't cross the picket line for you know, especially for like home decor or something. That being said, it's unfortunate because they have some fantastic sellers on Etsy. Some of the coolest stuff that I've come across is on Etsy, and they're doing it because they really do need to bring attention to this issue, that they are just scalping these sellers. They're just absolutely, they're just. It's like a creator tax almost. It's like they're taxing people for being creative, and for you know, great vintage. They're piling on so many fees, and they're taking out so much money that it is really hard to make a living on that. Hey, Rural Squirrel, I see you, baby girl. Mwah. Getting ready to come back to you in a second, honey. So it's just unfortunate that has to happen. I do respect it, though, and again, as a union family, we respect picket lines. Whether you do or not, entirely up to you. No judgment. I don't you know, I don't live anybody's life but my own. But there was, I do have a friend who did a video, Treasures Noir. Kayla actually does a lot of vintage stuff. She also does some, you know, what I would call like cultural edge stuff. So, or, you know, she has a lot of sci-fi stuff, and it's so cool. I'm always live. Yeah, gorgeous. I really, really am. Good morning, Jess. Mwah. Good morning. It's good to see you, homie. She's from my neck of the woods. She's from St. Louis, like me. So Treasures Noir did Sunday. She did a video about Destashify, which is kind of a new platform. So if you sell sewing things, notions, if you have like antique or even current really material to sell, fabric, if you have sewing patterns, I would check it out and check out her video before you go. She's got kind of a step-by-step tutorial, but it seems like a really easy platform to use. And I was thinking too, if my mom met my stepdad by crossing his picket line. He forgot what he was there for.
And thus, the Kraken was released.
The Kraken was released.
No, I'm sorry. Born.
Yeah. I released sounds, too far.
Sorry.
Too far. But no, I actually, I think that's, you know, the romance on the picket line. That's like I feel like that's the basis for a good novel.
Yeah, that would sell.
50 Shades of Strike. I kind of like
Romance
that.
on the picket line.
Yeah. So she did a thing. There's a new platform called Destashify, and it's specifically for like sellers and sewists. They call them sewists. Yeah. Which my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was she worked in a sewing factory and she sewed for years and years, sewed everything. So released, fired afterwards. So we did have at one point, I mean, and she kept everything too. She was, she lived through the Depression. So you can imagine the amount of fabric and stuff that we had at one point. And if there would have been someplace like Destashify, I think we would have been able to sell on that and, really sort of put something into I Hate You.
Show them how big this is.
And put some money into like college funds and things like that. And just some great investments that my grandmother would have been proud of. By the way, here's my face. Here's this donut. This is what my sister is parading across from me.
It's as big as my head. That's huge.
I'm so tempted to throw this and let it land on my dog hair covered floor because she's been eating donuts in front of me, except she did bring me donuts too. So I don't want to ruin my own donut thing.
Then I would lick them and throw them.
That's true. Also in rumor has it, inflation has increased once again. I was looking at the financial news this morning and yesterday morning, and they are really, they're really talking about mostly the cost of groceries and gas going up. Those are going to be the two big ones, but also home ownership and things like that. Interest rates are going up. So what we're finding is that also can affect your reselling business. You got to kind of think about that. The only solution that I can think of is to, source more cheaply and sell cheaply, sell, at a bigger discount than you normally would. It's the only way that I can think of to combat that besides just listing your full head off. If you don't know, listing your full head off actually works. It does. It'll create sales for you when nothing else will. But you really got to list your full head off. I mean, you got to list and list and list and list until you're so sick to death of listing that you never want to see a piece of clothing again in your life. And then list some more. That's the only solution that I can think of. If you can think of another solution, please absolutely put it in the chat or put it in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. But there are, people are talking about the algorithms. They're talking about, the pre-holiday. But to be honest, whenever big world events are happening, whenever the cost of gas is beginning to skyrocket, people just begin to buy less and less what they would consider frivolous products. Clothing's not exactly frivolous, but it's not exactly not either. Now, there was a cosmetic company in the middle of the Great Depression, and they were actually succeeding. And I honestly forgot who they were, but I remember the quote. I heard this a while ago. I remember the quote. They were talking about how, even in the middle of, even when a woman can't afford, a new pair of shoes, she will still buy a lipstick. And I think that's somewhat true. I think that people will, they will treat themselves to certain things, and you just have to figure out what that certain thing is that, that some people consider their luxury item that they don't want to do without. So those are always a good thing. It's always a good thing to look at. But again, list. If you didn't hear me the first time, for the people in the back, list your stuff. And I am horrible. I have listed like maybe 8 things in the past 2 days, And yeah, 50 by Friday challenge. I need a push. Me too, Raquel. And let's do really, Carrie.
I forgot.
Oh, is this big? um, that is true. I always buy jewelry. Yeah, there's just like something that everybody has their something. And they're not going to buy your something of that something if your something isn't out there. So Raquel, let's I think actually next week I'm going to go ahead and do we're going to do another listing challenge. I think we all need it.
Mhm.
I think it's a good idea. I think some of us have swimsuits and shorts and linen and cotton things that are just sitting and waiting for those sales and for those listings. And I think that if we have a challenge, it's kind of one of those things where it pushes you. So I really, you take part in that challenge. Cool. Yeah, it's just sort of one of those motivation things. I comp way more before checkout than I used to. If it's borderline, I put it back. Yeah, there are, well, and yard sale season's coming up. And so it's a great way to, if you get one of those church sales that have like a dollar bag or a $5 bag or something like that, you have a ton of Lego. Oh, honey, sell those. Sell those. The Lego is just crazy. There's no time of year when Lego doesn't sell. None, not one. So, tip of the day, by the way, has to do with crap, and here's what I mean by that. I heard a challenge maybe on listing. Yeah, I am thinking like next Thursday we'll have a listing challenge and I'll announce a prize and everything. I think it's going to be we'll need to. So next Thursday morning on our live, we will at that point announce what the challenge is, because I think we all need it. We can all use it. It keeps me accountable more than anybody, and I I need it. So I need you. I need you guys. And, hopefully we all need each other to kind of motivate that and get that moto going. Um, so my tip of the day is if you get crap, bundle it. And here's what I mean by that. I get from friends, from family, from a lot of different people, a lot of different sources, mostly friends and family though, where people are like, hey, I have a bag full of stuff and, here, do you want it? Instead of me sending it to the Goodwill. And I'm like, heck yeah. Now some of it gets redonated. Some of it does get redonated. If it's damaged to the point where, it's really just not sellable or it's just unethical to sell it, then I will send it to the Goodwill and hopefully somebody can actually use it or, use it to repurpose or create something new, which I'm always hopeful for. But there are some things where it's just not a great brand. It's not a great brand. And here's an example. I had Arizona jeans. I'm not calling them a bad brand. I'm just saying as a reseller, they're not as high a value as like Levi's and things like that. Also Cherokee jeans, which I think were those sold at Kmart or
Cherokee.
Walmart? Cherokee
Walmart.
jeans.
Walmart,
yeah. And they were men's jeans and I had 2 pairs of them. And either one of them I could have just donated because they just didn't have that higher resale value. I mean, I probably could have gotten rid of them for like 10, 12 bucks. But that's right about what comps were running on each one of those. But what I did, since they were the same size, they had the same waist, same length. What I did was I bundled them together. I just put them together and I'm like 2 pairs of jeans for 20 bucks. And because of that, I was able to sell both pairs of jeans, move them out, and actually make some cash on something that I got for free. With crap, there's a saying, 2 of crap is still crap.
That's why I don't eat at buffets.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Well, but when it comes to certain things, there are people who are looking for multiple pairs of something. Old Navy is fantastically like that. Old Navy, I've actually purchased for myself, for my personal use, Old Navy bundles where it's got like 3 or 4 blouses in the same size. And now I get to kind of, pick and choose. And, if I don't like something, I can donate it or whatever. But at least I have like, it's not like me waiting for the one blouse. I had like 4 different blouses that I can choose from. And I enjoyed the purchase. I was glad I did. So it's just one of those things where I think it's worth it. I think it is worth considering, especially for free inventory. If you get free inventory, explore how you might be able to make cash on that, even if it's something that's maybe not as desirable in the market, because I think that that's a good way to make extra money that, I mean, I hate to say this, but $12 is $12. In this case, I made $16 on, some free jeans. So I consider that a win. Also, crossovers. In news of the crossover project, I am looking forward to, I believe it's Monday that I'm meeting up with the Rural Squirrel and with the Rural Squirrel and Marcus from Dixon's Pickens and one other person, I think. They have a challenge going at the bins in St. Louis, and I still have to reach out to them on Insta and get the time and all of that. But we're going to be doing that and filming that. So we may end up with thrifts and giggles. We may just end up with a really fun video. But either way, you'll see video footage of that sometime within the next few weeks. With crap, it's usually a waste of time. I would rather list source quality higher items. Okay, yes and no, Horizon. I actually beg to differ. Hey, Tricky, how you doing, buddy? I actually beg to differ. If it's free inventory and it was given to me, I can bundle it together and make money. I don't have to put as much effort into listing it, so I can just, here's the front, here's the back, here's the tags, but yeah, I actually, you and I are going to have to agree to disagree on that one, because I would rather list and source quality items for more money. Sure. But I also think that if I'm getting free inventory, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to take advantage of that fact and, flip it and make some money, because, even $16 is, that's more inventory that I can buy and maybe a better quality. So, yeah. Vague compliment for the way. So anyway, moving on to further crossover news. I actually did some sourcing on ThreadUp, and there are things on ThreadUp that you can find that they either don't know what they have, or they have taken some photographs that are not very flattering, or in one case they actually took a photograph of the bottom of a La Perla bikini that was white. It's La Perla, guys. That's a really high-end designer lingerie and swimwear brand. And they took a picture of it, and it's a white bikini bottom, and it still had the original like strip and all of that thing. Would totally challenge this topic. Well, you're doing that right now, Roy. Thanks. Moving on. There was a strip in it and everything, and it was such an incredible deal, and they had it for $6, and they had it for $6 because it was a white bikini bottom that they took on a white background. They took a photograph on a white background, and literally you couldn't see it. All you saw was a white screen. So I paid $6. I bought this on faith. And if you're wondering, I already had the top, which I had paid up for. It was the total with the shipping was $20. So for $26, yeah, for $26, I ended up with a bikini that sells for anywhere from $150 to $250. So you can source on ThreadUp. You can source on other sites. There are so many places to source from. Okay. So anyway, which brings me actually to my salty treats. Salty treats. It's my salt of the week. And you can imagine, well, those who know me can imagine about what I'm about to say.
Shake some salt all over it.
I'm going to sprinkle a little salt on it. Can we sprinkle a little salt on it just for a minute? And I promise I will be as kind as possible. Guys, let's talk about auctions for a second. And I'm not going to talk about what my experiences were this week. I can tell you that I've had a few negative experiences in different auctions this week, and it's really kind of put me off. Auctions are one of those things where I will go and I don't only source for my business. I also source for my home. I also source for, my family, for gifts, for Easter baskets. Most of, some of that was sourced from auctions for my personal use. So I don't attend auctions for one specific reason. It's not just as a reseller. Not that it matters. And that's where I have an issue. If I attend your auction and I buy something from you, please be assured that when I get that something, if I set it on fire and wipe my butt with it, it's none of your business. I'm going to get a little, there's Glamma being salty
Wipe
right there.
your butt with it and then set it on fire.
That's a good idea. Yeah. If I run over it with my car, it's none of your business. If I put it in a shredder and use it to pack another more expensive item or a less expensive item, it's none of your business. Please let it be said, and please let it be known that if I attend your auction and I purchase something, that's the end of it. That's it. Whether I resell it, whether I sit on it, whether I stomp on it, whether I paint it black or blue, no matter what I do with an item that I purchase, it's none of your business. If you have a problem with that, please let me know. I'll be happy to quit purchasing from you, and have, in fact, actually already, there are 2 sellers that have already lost me as customers forever. I will never purchase from them again. Yeah, auction shade, but I'm sick of it. I have attended 2 different auctions where I was made to feel like my business was not welcome. Or worse, like somebody was trying to get over on me. Or even worse, like I was not worthy of owning whatever it was that I was bidding on. That's not going to happen again. I can guarantee. That is, I have enough money to walk away and buy something else. Frankly, when I'm at an auction, none of it is anything that I absolutely need. So if I bid on something, it's not a life or death situation. I can walk away at any time. Know that, and know that if I have bought from you in the past and you're being a jerk about it, and that's the thing I think that just really lit my wick this week. I'm like, I'm spending money with you and you're being a jerk? Or I just spent money with you and you turn around and you're a jerk in another auction or something like that. Thank you, Deb. And right, Kraken? Yeah, Tricky, this all sounds like a good time on for sale. Tricky, seriously. Cold shower, buddy. He's absolutely sweet, and he's by the way, he is a good auction, as is Horizon Picks. He does have a good auction. I just walk away, sis. Yeah, it was just an aggravating experience that, and just please know that if you're an auctioneer, don't question how people are going to use whatever product that they buy from you. Just be, just cash your check and enjoy that part. How about that? And that is all I got to say about my salty. Now we're getting ready to get into the sweet, and we've got about 5 more minutes, and then we're probably going to go ahead. And again, I like to end a little bit early so that I can go to the 2 Hip Chicks channel and watch their live. It's always fun for me. Something metal and menacing. Oh boy.
We're having a side conversation.
Yeah, I'm watching that
about the wrestling figures I bought last night from Mia.
Oh yeah. Those were fun, and they were lovely. Most of my experiences are really lovely. It's just, don't make me mad. Don't make me mad because, I mean, go ahead if you want to, but I'll never buy from you again. It's just that simple. So anyway, let's move on to the sweets though. And I want to thank the people who watched the live last week, and even the people who weren't in like the live chat. Sarah Graham. Hi, Sarah. If you're out there or if you're watching this later, hi, Sarah. She said she left a comment, and she said that she missed the live, and that's perfectly okay. I understand not everybody is available at 10 a.m. Central Time, so I totally get that. People actually do have lives and jobs and things. But she said she said let's fashion. She wants to see us bring back the 1920s, and I love that. I totally agree, Sarah. I love the drop waist. I love the beading. I love the Art Deco details. I love it all, and it would be fantastic to see the 1920s brought back. I think it'd be fun. I also want to thank my late night buddies. There's a thing happening in my house with a lot of
up nights.
I've been up nights. There's typically when Grandpa goes between shifts, and when he goes from like morning shifts to evening shifts to overnight shifts to morning, evening, overnight, and then all of our sleep schedules are messed up, and he snores like the dead. I mean, it's so ridiculous. He snores like he's like he's got a megaphone. So and the dogs snore with him because yay, because that's fun. So so the snore between the snoring and the dogs, and I maybe just because it is spring, and maybe spring has sprung for me too. But I've been getting up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, well, I'm up in the middle of the night, kind of bored, already did some listing. Let's just hop on live and see where everybody is. And I have a few people who show up live, and I'm really happy about that. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I just want to thank those of you who are my late night kids who showed up with us, who showed up with me in the middle of the night. Also, the unboxing that we did, the unboxing premiere, I want to thank you guys. When people show up live in your chat, they're really giving you, they're giving you their time and attention, and it's a very valuable thing. And I truly appreciate it. Yep, Card Shop first in chat. So Michael Whelan, hi Michael, how you doing? he is kind of one of my middle of the night buddies. Yeah, even that crazy Horizon picks, right? He said, "How are you, brother?" That sounds like who was that used to do brother all the time?
Macho Man.
That was Macho Man.
Was it Macho Man or
Hulk?
Brother? Yeah, it was Hulk.
Was it the Hulk?
Yeah, I think.
Hulk Hogan? The Hulk Hogan.
Macho Man was, oh yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, step into a Slim Jim. Yeah. That was Hulk Hogan. Okay, I knew one of you wrestling guys would know. So anyway, I just wanted to say a very special thank you to anyone who jumps on the lives. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your attention. I really appreciate that you think that my dinky channel is worth it. And speaking of my dinky channel, we are at 874 subs. Yay! We're at 874, guys. We're inching closer and closer to 1,000. So when we hit 1,000 subs, just to kind of wrap it up, here's what happens when we hit 1,000 subs. I have some giveaways that hopefully are going to knock your socks off. I have there's at least $100 gift card being given away, and possibly two. And there's a piece of jewelry that is a really nice piece of jewelry. I'll just put it that way. If you're a reseller, this is a good jewelry brand. That's a really good jewelry brand. So anyway, I hope you like it. But yeah, we're going to be giving away. I'm also going to be doing a comic stack. So for my comic guys, because they're part of my reselling community and part of the subs as well. So I'm actually going to be doing a comic book stack for one of the giveaways at 1,000 subs as well. So thank you all so much for spending time with us today. Sissy is typing and making the donuts jiggle just ever so slightly, making the glaze glisten in the overhead lights in the bar, just enough to make me want some ice cold milk. And yeah, I'm getting turned on. I want the donuts. So anyway,
You're literally the only person who gets turned on by me anymore.
Yeah. Well, technically it's your donuts,
No.
so I don't know. Yeah.
That's what I meant. It's always been the donuts.
It's the donuts. It's all about the donuts with me. So I just want to wish you all a wonderful Thursday. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you very much for joining us. I hope you make a lot of sales, and I hope that you remember and never forget. Don't you ever forget. Glamma loves you.